Hello, it is fantastic to see you. Dads play such a big part in our lives. Even if we're girls, even if we're guys, statistically, fathers are just as necessary as mothers. And having those issues, those parental issues, can influence so much more than just that parental relationship. It can influence romantic relationship, friendship relationships, just the way you make life choices. So today we're just going to talk about how you can actually start living your life and move on. Today, we're doing it with me and Solus. In case you haven't met him before, he's our channel pet. He's our bearded dragon, Solus. He's trying to catch my filming lights. Hey, and just as a side note, this is quite a new channel, but it definitely is not lacking experience or knowledge. So I would love for you to stay and be a day one. I just want to take a second to acknowledge those feelings that you have. It can feel like your whole world is shattering when the person that you live with or the person that you love so much is speaking cruel words to you or not speaking to you or doing things, actions that are harming you. It's not easy to navigate that situation, but it's possible. And I think fathers are such a blessing. But what really helped me put into perspective the actual relationship a father plays is he's very helpful, but he's not necessary. God formed it in such a way where it's supposed to be a father and a mother. But if the father isn't doing the general things the father should be doing, it's not necessary. It's harder to be without one, which is why it's helpful to have one, but it's not necessary. And I think that's a really important concept you have to get into your brain. You can live your life to the fullest without a father. You have to believe that. If he's not around, what else are you supposed to do? The goal here is not to sit and mope around. It's to think, yeah, I really can live my best life. I really can get after my purpose. He can be in my life because he adds something to it. If he doesn't add something to it, if he doesn't play his role correctly, if he harms me and does the opposite, why would I have him around? He's not necessary in my circle. I will tell you right now, you have so many better things to do. You have no time to waste. You have a busy life to live than to worry about a dad who doesn't want to be present. And I just want to point out to you, even God has a limit. There's an unforgivable sin, blasphemy. That is when God knocks on your door, he knocks on your door again, he sends another person to remind you of him. He sends another verse, he sends another sign that you might have even asked for. He sends it. He knocks on your door, but you just refuse to answer and you purposefully turn away. Your heart is hardened to the point where you're not willing to listen to him. That is blasphemy. Even God has a limit where he will be like, okay, your heart is hardened. I will leave you alone because you don't want me to be there. That's free will. If God has a limit, how can you as a human expect yourself to have an endless limit of do whatever you want to me? How can you as a human, I just look me in the eyes, like how can you as a human do more than God? If God has this limit, how in the world would he expect you to go and continue this relationship with this person who doesn't want to have that relationship? The best thing you can do for yourself, the biblical thing, is you can forgive your father. You can do that for both him and for yourself, mostly for yourself. You can forgive him, but you don't have to go back to that relationship. If there's really just this door, this hardening of the heart, you can let it be and come to peace with that. And I know sometimes it's the fact that you just want this person to be who you imagine them to be, and you want it so bad, especially with a parental relationship. You go and you see everybody having an awesome dad, having an awesome family, and then you're sitting over here and you're like, yeah, my dad calls me names and he tells me I'm a terrible person and that I'm gonna clean washrooms in McDonald's. Like, he genuinely, when he tells me these things, he actually means them. And he would say it again. Especially as a child or a young person, as a girl trying to navigate the fact that your dad treats you this way. Imagine how hard it is to go and find romantic relationships after that, to reprogram your mind into, oh, men aren't supposed to say these things to me. Oh, men aren't supposed to treat me this way. Oh, we're supposed to have good communication. Crazy. And then you meet the right partner, which happened to me, and it was just a game changer. I was like, whoa. So I get that there are these feelings of like, I want this person to just be in my life, but be the right type of person in my life. But if they're not willing to do that and it's affecting you in a negative way, that's only putting your life into worse positions. You're just proving whatever he says to be right. If he calls you that continuously, if he says that to you continuously, if he puts that belief on you continuously, and you stay, and you take it, and you believe it, he's just gonna think it's okay. You're proving everything that he says about you to be correct. You have to put that mindset in your head. He is helpful, but not necessary. Because he's not necessary, I will cut him off in this way, and I will go and do everything that is in my purpose and in my path. And he will have to watch me. When he's ready to come back into my life, be open. Don't be pissy. And you know what's actually so interesting? Because when you put that barrier and you're just like, okay, this is what you want, right? You want to speak to me this way. You want to treat me this way. You want to ignore me this way. Okay. Have it your way. Your favorite phrase should be okay. If a person says that to you, okay. That's your belief. What does that have to do with me? It's your perception of me. It doesn't have to be mine. And the moment you put that barrier, it's super interesting because he'll actually be like, oh, she just did that. And then he'll watch you. He'll watch everything else you do. Every single success you have. He might see the failures too, but failures are not failures if they lead to success tomorrow. If you fail once, and that turns into a success in a month, in a year, that's a success. That was just a stepping stone. That wasn't failure. It's a stepping stone. And you only have to believe that. Your dad doesn't have to. Okay, Dad. Okay, that's your opinion. Okay, just agree with him. Have you ever, oh my gosh, holy moly macaroni, How to Speak to People, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Such an amazing book on speaking. I've annotated, highlighted everything. And I actually have a book channel separate from this channel where I've gone over this book and how to communicate with people. You can go check it out. It talks about arguments and conflicts and how people don't like it when you disagree with them. So if he's already aggravated, why would you make it worse and disagree with him? Whatever is in his mind doesn't have to be in yours. Okay, Dad. Okay. I'll link the videos below that I made on that book so you can go and use them as a resource. If you do have to live with this person, if you do have to communicate with this person, you might as well do yourself a favor and communicate in the best way that benefits you in that conversation. Your dad is going to watch from the sidelines as soon as you make that barrier. And with me, it was in the way that my dad, whenever he would get mad at me over anything, he would simply stop speaking to me and ignore me. So we wouldn't speak for weeks. We wouldn't speak for a month. And it kind of got to a point where it just got so emotionally annoying. And I was like, okay, I'll do it myself. Okay. It was during the time that I was trying to apply for a certain school and I had to print some documents. I've never had to use the printer, photocopy anything. Like I just haven't had to do that for school or for any sort of stuff. So I was like, okay, now I have to sit down on that computer and I have to figure it out. And I did. It took me 2 hours to figure this out, the printer out, which I know might seem so stupidly simple, but it took me a while. I was 13, I think, at the time. But I printed it out and I put it all in a folder. I put my application, I wrote my letter, I had my references, it was all in an envelope. Him and my mom drove me that day. He still wasn't speaking to me. Him and my mom drove me to submit that file. And he saw me submit everything and get into that school. After that, I think a switch flipped and he realized that I can actually do things without him. And I actually said that to him verbally. I said, yeah, it's really great to have you in my life. Like, I love it when our relationship is good. And I would love to keep it this way. But if it came to the fact, I could really live without you. Like, I would find a way. I'd have to. Like, that's just the way you have to think. The best thing you can do in a bad situation is believe in yourself and think that you can make something positive out of this. Because what else are you going to make out of it? It's either go roll around in the dirt or go make something out of the situation. So you might as well believe in yourself. You might as well take the chance on yourself because this is the only one you have. So I told my dad, I'm like, yeah, I've had to lose you before and I'm willing to do it again if it comes to that point. And we've had a great relationship since. Once that switch flips, He just really had issues. He had anger issues, which he didn't want to work on at the time. His way of communicating his anger would be to not talk to you and not talk it through. And this has actually affected me in my life. During this time that he wasn't talking to me at such a young age, I made some bad choices. But then I went and I made good choices. I started the gym. He'd call me weak. He'd call me lazy. He'd look at me sourly when I used to play video games. I don't play video games anymore. I don't watch TV shows. I might watch a movie a month. I'm so insanely busy with chasing my purpose. I don't have time for the things he used to make fun of me for. I go to the gym. I exercise daily. I move my body daily. He has nothing, he can't say anything against me because everything he said that I was, I turn around and I proved that I wasn't. The sad part is that you cannot explain to a person the ideas in your mind. You have to show them. You have to physically go and do what it is that you're thinking about. If you talk about it, it doesn't count. If you think about it, it barely counts. If you go and you do something, it counts. If you do it consistently, it counts. Because it amounts to something. He couldn't say anything. He can't say that I'm lazy. He can't say that I play video games. He can't say that I hang out with my friends too much. Because I became so intelligent and I became so unique and so in tune with myself that I can't even connect with most people. Because I find the things they do so mundane. It's very hard for me to find friends, which is part of the reason I have this channel. I feel like I can really, truly speak about on this realm, which is the internet. I for sure will find people who resonate with what I say. For sure. So I really try not to stress about the fact that I don't have friends in my life right now that fit that image. And you know, my dad was right. I'm so much happier not playing these video games. I'm so much happier not wasting my time. So I see that his disappointment came from a good perspective. Like, it's not that he was wishing the worst for me. He just refused to work on the way he expressed himself. He refused to work on his anger issues. He refused to try to learn about how he should speak to me or my sister. He's a lot better now. We've been speaking for 2 years perfectly fine. You just have to create that barrier and prove with some merit that you actually mean the things you say. And I promise you, your dad will be watching. And if it clicks in his mind, he will come and you'll actually have a father, which is so beautiful. And if he doesn't, your life is already so wonderful. You have all these flowers. You have this whole garden. And if the bumblebees come along, great. But if they don't, you have your garden. You built the positivity that you were lacking yourself. Because what else are you supposed to do? We're not rolling around in the dirt. We just have to believe in ourselves this one time. And really stand on what we say. Attach meaning to our words. And just the video before this one, I created on how to trust yourself. How you trust your words. How do you actually do the things you say you're going to do? How do you build a relationship with yourself? And this is especially helpful if you can't have that relationship with your father. I'll link it up here. I just want to leave with this last note. My hope for you is that you get so busy with your purpose that you don't have any time to consider what he used to say about you. All the mean things he said. I hope you get so busy you can ignore that and just continue with your positive little garden. Again, this is quite a new channel, so if you're watching this, you're a day one. I would super love it if you subscribed. I read all the comments, I answer all the comments. It would be super lovely to get to know you and chat, especially if we're like-minded people.